Good morning, everybody. I am Sharon Wilcox, your Stampin' Up! Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, coming live to you from Chesapeake, Virginia. Today is June the 23rd, and got a few things to share with you today. So, let's see. Trying to think, get my head together here. Well, first of all, if you would love to, good morning, everybody. I see a few of you jumping on. If you would love to create a template today for a card that I'm going to show you, what you need to do is grab one piece of paper. I would use white just so you can make a template. And it is cut 11 by 4 1/4. So grab one of these. You will also want one little piece that is 3 by 3 square. You'll want your paper cutter with a trimmer and a scoring blade, or your score pile. You see mine back here in the background. You can use that, or you can use your paper cutter. And we'll do that in just a little bit, okay? So I'll give you time to gather up some stuff while we get going. Let's hop down to my desktop real quick. I still have the nasal nastiness and cough from COVID. I mean, I'm totally over it, but still have this. One of the other things I wanted to share with you about COVID and me, because it affects everybody differently, COVID affects my hands. And I failed to mention that last week, that my hands just don't work the way they should. COVID gets into all of my knuckles, into my muscles, into my joints. And so my hands don't work so good. I mean, that is it. I can't really grip. It's especially these two fingers. For obvious reasons, I won't point them out, but I can't grip and I can't close tight. And it's just part of the COVID. It does get better with time typically, so because this is my second time with COVID, but we'll see how that goes. And it's also affecting my knees, which is really bothering me. But anyways, moving forward, I heard from a couple who have not received the mini July through December catalog. If you have not received this in the mail, Charlene, I know you're one of them. I will get that in the mail to you probably on Monday. A lot going on. Tammy's moving into her new condo this weekend, so there's still a lot of tiny little things to do, and so we've been spending a lot of time down there. But if you have not received this from me, or your demonstrator, and you would like to receive one, please let me know, and I will get that out to you. So also, while I'm on this, you see it starts July the 1st. That is a Friday. So the following Thursday live will be July 7th, and I will be doing Christmas in July. So I know I have to miss at least one Thursday because we will have out-of-town company, and the grandkids use this room. There's a day bed and stuff trundle for them, so they're in here and everything gets moved. So so there will be one Thursday. I'll let you know for sure what day that is, but right off the top of my head I do not know. But anyways, Christmas in July, starting July the 7th. So and I won't bore you too much with all the Christmas in July, but it just seems like such a fun time to get started and to start thinking about your cards, because if you're like me and you make a lot, you want to get those ready and out. So today I'm working out of the annual catalog, which of course I love, and I'm on page 14, which is Sending Smiles. I love this set. Let me pull this over this way. there's just so many fun things that you can do with this set. And I love the um, words, the dies that you can get to go with it. Just a fun, fun set. So let's get started with this really quickly. And I hope that you went and grabbed your papers for the card wall making. I'm going to give everybody just a few more minutes to do that before we get to that part. Um, this stamp set is a photopolymer, which means you need to have a nice cushion because when you're working with photopolymer, you don't have the rubber like our red rubber stamps do, so you need a bit of a cushion. You could use the piercing mats. I'm not even sure if we still sell these anymore. Um, Honestly, I don't know because I have an abundance of them, so I've had no need to look or order them. I apologize for that. But if you don't have this and can't order this now, you can always get the extra pad from the Stamparatus. You don't have to buy the Stamparatus in order to order this. So this is a really nice one because on this side, you hear that? It's a vinyl. So you can wipe it, clean it, which you can see I've got a little smudge there. I've got an old eraser here. I'm just going to erase that adhesive off because that's really going to bug me. Anyways, you do need to have some of this, some padding under you, and this works. Sometimes you'll get a real good impression if you just have a pad of paper, but I find that if you have a little cushiony there, it works the best. So we've got Sending Smiles, and we have the beautiful dies that go with. Love, love, love. And of course, when you bundle them, that's a 10% savings, and we all love that. So let me show you the first card, and I am going to stamp this for you because I want you to see just how easy it stamps and how pretty it is. And I'm going to grab a piece of paper from my Stamparatus pad because I'm going to be stamping off of my card front a little bit, so I'd like to have that. I'm going to use the Old Olive because no matter what color green we get, Old Olive is always the one I turn to for leaves and trees and things like that. So we're going to be stamping the stems for the flowers, and we're going to be using this one. There's two in there. Let me just show you the difference. This is the one I'm using. We've got this one in here too, and you could use it if you wanted to. I'm using this extra leaf, and I'm only using one flower right now, and it's this one. And this tiny little dot, oh my goodness, I've almost lost this a couple of times. And then this little grouping of flowers, and then we'll put some words in there as well. So let's go ahead and get this inked up using the Old Olive. And you can stamp off if you want. Mine's a pretty juicy ink pad there. So, and it's okay to go off. What you want is different heights for your flowers. You don't want them all to be exact. So let's just kind of move this one down. I'm going to move this one way up here. And re-inking each time, just a nice little firm tapping. I'll make another small short one. And then one that's kind of in between all of them. Turn that stem a little more like that. All right, that's cute, but we need a few extra leaves, I do think. And for my extra leaves, I am going to stamp off to give me a bit of a lighter color. And just put leaves wherever you'd like. Oh, that's really cute. And maybe even one over there. And that one's real light, but it's still there, and it's just really pretty. I just feel like it just needed a little bit more in the leaf department. Okay, and I'll add more as I finish stamping my flowers if I feel like it needs more leaves. It kind of just depends. I think I'm going to leave that right like that for now. We'll add more flowers, add our flowers, and then make that decision. I'm also going to be using the blending brush to brush a little bit of green down there too. So, all right, for the flower, I said I'm only using the one, but I want to show you a cute little trick that you can do to make it look like you've used a couple different shades of your one ink pad. This particular one is the Orchid Oasis. So I'm going to stamp it. I hope my head isn't in the way. Okay, isn't that beautiful? And I'm just going to twist it a little bit. And look at that. Here, let me lift that up because I don't think you can see that. Can you see the color depth you get? So it almost looks like there's more petals than the dark ones. And I do need to clean this off. So of course, you know, my favorite is the chamois. So clean that off and always close up your ink pads. And I'll use Sweet Sorbet next. And I'm going to use that same technique again and again. Stamp it, lift it, turn, and do. I'll lift the card up so you can see that in just a moment. Clean this one off and go. And these were just stacked here in no particular order. So this color is the new Tahitian Tide. So let's put this one right over here. Oh, it's such a gorgeous color. Okay, get that one closed. And this is really basic stamping, ladies, as you can tell. But it's always fun to just do a very easy, simple card. And sometimes we just go a little crazy. Okay, I think I'm going to do 2 of those yellows. It's actually daffodil. There we go. Let me lift this up so you can see the different color. See the 2 shades of each of those? Just gives the flower a little bit of depth. You do not have to do that, obviously, but this is your card. You do it however you would like to do it. That's always the fun part. I'm going to go in with some Calypso Coral. I'm going to add some of these little flowers. They're real cute. Not much to it, but you'll see. And actually, let me stamp this off so I can see how dark. I think that'll be okay. And I'm just going to sprinkle them. I might stamp it off twice. Oh yeah, I'm going to stamp that off twice. Just kind of sprinkle them through here. How's that? Just a few extra little color in there and little flowers. And I know they don't have stems. They don't need it. They don't need it. This is kind of whimsical. This is not like for real flowers that we're trying to go for. So just enjoy it. If you don't like it, you know what? It's just a piece of cardstock. You can always just start over. It's just a fourth of a piece of cardstock to boot. So I'm adding just a couple more of these little leaves because I just felt like it needed something. And you know what? They don't even have to be attached to anything because they're coming up from the other flowers that are there that we don't see. That's how my little mind works. So, okay. I'm looking at a couple of my comments. Yeah, Michelle, you haven't gotten yours yet. Shipping is running a little bit behind, and we all know how the post office is. So, and Stampin' Up's been pretty busy. So, be patient. It'll come. It'll come. Using the Old Olive and a blending brush, I'm just going to pick up a little bit of color here. And I'm not adding a ton of color down here, just enough to kind of fill that in. Okay, just a little bit down here. And I really do feel that kind of makes a difference, you know, just to add that kind of a little grassy area. Okay, and honestly, if you wanted to, you could go in with your blue, and I'll just do it so that you can see it. I didn't do it on my original card, but that's okay. And we'll add a little bit of the Tahitian tide. Let me make sure it's not too dark. Okay, just a little bit of this, because I am going to stamp words at the top. And I think I'm going to use the, well, I know that I am. I'm going to use the Sweet Sorbet. And, you know, this is so very light that you may not even see it on camera. But boy, I can see it in person. So let me lift this up and see if that shows any better for you. Can you see how faint that is? But it's there. All right, let's move on. And let's grab the Sweet Sorbet. And I'm going to use the word sending. The fun thing about this, and I'll show you in some samples, is that you can stamp this directly, or there's a die to cut this out. So I'm going to stamp it directly on the top of my card. Get this paper out of the way because it's hard to tell sometimes, and I don't need it. Let's go right about there. Sending. I love that. And then what am I sending? This set gives you so many different words that makes it so versatile. You can send smiles across the miles, all the good luck your way, sunshine to brighten your day. That's one of my favorites. Love and big hugs, birthday wishes, a note of thanks, a card to say hello, comfort and strength. So I did mount one, but honestly, I forget which one. Oh, love and big hugs. So that's where I'm going. And I think I'm going to change my color. Gosh, I do love, I think I'm going to use this one because I just love this Tahitian tide. And somebody reminded me a week or two ago that this color, and I couldn't remember what it looked like our old colors. It was the Tempting Turquoise, which was one of my favorites. Now, I didn't plan this so well, so I'm not sure. I think I want this over here. I don't want it over there, too crowded. I'll put it over here. And again, this is your card. You design it how you would like it. Isn't that sweet? Now, because it's a little postcard size, all I'm going to do is mount it on a piece of white. You could layer it with different things, different colors if you'd like, but I'm just doing a white on white. I also want to remind you, when you have scored your cardstock, one side has the indentation and the other side has the little hump. You want to fold it so that the little hump is on the inside. And using your bone folder or even one of your acrylic blocks to give yourself a really good crease so that your cards lay nice and flat. And then this card is going this way, so make sure it opens properly. And we're going to attach this to this. You could pop it up if you wanted. As a matter of fact, I think I'll do that just to give it a little bit of depth. And this does not make any difference in postage because, I mean, they really go kind of flat, but it still has that little oomph when it is received. I'm going to put two more. And I'm using an abundance of these, I know. You don't need that many. But because they are so inexpensive and I like for my card to not have a sunken area, I tend to use a little bit more of these than I probably need, but that's okay. That's my choice. If you want to just put one in each corner and maybe one in the center, you can do that and it'll be just fine. That's the lovely thing about stamping is you can make all of those creative choices your own, how you would like them to be. Isn't that just sweet? We'll put a flower on the inside as well. And I probably should have done that when I was stamping them, but I didn't. And should we do an envelope to match? I guess I won't because I don't have a white envelope right there. But I would put this paper back underneath. A little flower here, and I think because I use the which one? Oh, I think I'll use this one. I know I can't make up my mind sometimes. Did I clean? I did clean. So stamp it. I'm going to do that little twist again. Oh, that's so cute. You know what I forgot? I forgot to add the little center to the flowers. And the reason I forgot is because I left. No, I didn't do the color. I'm going to use yellow on these just to brighten it up a little bit. Even though one of my flowers is daffodil, that's okay. Oop, that center just pops. That's okay. Well, actually, two of my flowers on the front are the daffodil, but that's all right. Oh, yeah, it shows up. There you go. And again, don't worry about getting things perfect. That's not what this is about. You can really get creative and do your own thing, but a basic, simple card, lots of color, and I guarantee you, anybody receiving this will absolutely love it. Here's my original. So there they are side by side. They look pretty much the same. This one I used Orchid Opulence, and I think this is what is that pink? Just left my head. Anyways, but you get the gist of it. And this one, just a note of thanks. So I think that's really cute. Yep, flower on the inside. And look, I used the other flower on the inside, and I did that same thing. There's this one. This one is a little fuzzy looking on the edges, and I kind of like it. And then this one. All of these flowers are just gorgeous. They stamp easy. They stamp pretty. And there's our card. But there we go. All right. Is everybody getting their cardstock ready? A 11 by 4 1/4 piece. That's what you need if you're going to play along here and make a template for this card that I'm going to show you. Let me show you a couple other samples before we get moving on. And this one, and I cut these out with the dies, and I've got a variety of different flowers on here. I love this one that looks like a little cone flower. This is the die that I cut that out with a white backing, Smiles Across the Miles. I did, once again, sponge in here. A little heavier sponging, but it's pretty. And I use the, what is that new green, parakeet green? I forget what it is right there. And this is a little easel card. So on the bottom, there's my little flower on the inside. On the bottom, I cut and I just raise that up with some dimensionals. It's an extra piece of white with a little bit of the Desire Series paper. And you know how much I love this Desire Series paper. These packets are 6 by 6, and they're in the back. You're going to get 40 sheets. Love, love, love them. I use the Sweet Sorbet here. And if you want to know how to make this one, maybe I'll do a little template on that one next week. But it's a super, super easy card. And it's always fun to be able to set your card up on the inside. Okay, and I did use Smiles Across the Miles. I love that one. Oh, and an envelope to go with. Oh, look at that. I remember when I was doing that and I smudged it and I thought to myself, it is an envelope. I am not going to stress over that. I will still use that envelope. So, and I showed you this one last week, just a little, one more of that Z fold card that I absolutely love. I hope you guys have made some of these Z folds after I did that little template with you because they are so easy. Just love, love, love this. Love the colors. Some more of that designer series paper, and this is in the in color one because this is the Tahitian Tide. And here's the envelope to go with. And the template that we're going to do today, get this out of our way, is this lovely card here. I probably make a different choice in ribbon there. And this one is, again, a nice little easel card, but it's on the diagonal. And I'll show you how to cut that. Super simple, super easy. On the inside is this beautiful flower and the birthday wishes. And I just used the sending on the front. Okay, so let's grab our paper and our cutter. So what you need is your paper trimmer along with your cutting and scoring blade. And you will want to open that arm up because we are going to be using a piece of cardstock that is 11 inches long. Okay. I hope you're ready to play with me. If not, you can watch the rerun and catch up. So, with your card long ways, okay, your first score is going to be at 5.5. Get these stamps out of my way, especially since a couple of them I did not clean them right away. That's okay. Get those out of my way. So your first one is right in the center at 5.5. And make sure you're using your scoring blade. Okay, so score that. Your next one is at 6.75. So we'll run right down here to 3/4. And get that cutting blade out of the way. Score that one. All right. And then our last one is 8 7/8. And can you see where that is? Just in case you're curious. There's the 7/8 line right there. So you've got one more little 16th and then your 9. Okay, I am amazed, and it's not a judgment by any means, but I am amazed at the number of people that do not know how to read a ruler. It's just not something that is taught, I guess. So, anyways, if you like to sew and you really want to get into card making, reading a ruler is pretty darn important. Okay, so next thing you're going to do is I want you to take this card and you've got your score ends down here. Okay, can you see all your scoring lines there? Down at the bottom where we just scored the 8 7/8 one, on that piece, I want you to get a pencil. I may have forgot to tell you this. And you want to mark the halfway mark. So if this is 4 1/4, 2 1/8 is your center. Okay. So let's mark that. And by marking it, you see, no, I'm not in the thing. Let me turn it this way so you can see. Get it my 2 1/8. Okay. This is where your cutting blade goes. So this is where you want to mark, right on that little line. Okay. And then that, excuse me, that score line, this score line, the 8 7/8 line, you want it in the center of where you're cutting as well as your little tick mark, okay? So here's my score, and here's my little tick mark. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to cut that off. So yes, this time we're using our cutting blade. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side, and you want your score line still right there on the cutting and your little tick mark right there, and we're going to cut that one off, and that creates that wonderful little point. Okay, everybody with me? Anybody following? This is such a fun one and so versatile that I will be making more of these. Now remember that little 3x3 piece that I asked you to cut? These you can use for scrap or pitch them. Let's go ahead and fold on our score lines. And when you can fold with the bump on the inside, it's always best. So your first one actually goes that way. Okay, good sharps creases on that. The next one is going to fold up, and this one is going to fold this direction. Okay. And actually, I may have folded that one. Yeah, that's right. Just like that. Okay. So this piece would then get attached here. Now let me show you what mine looks like so that you know exactly what I do. This is my 4 1/4 by 11. So I mark that. Score at 5 1/2, 6 3/4, and 8 7/8. And then down here, mark the center cut from score 8 7/8 to the center mark. So this is my notes. This is my template. And then this I keep with it so that I know that this goes on here. Okay. So that keeps in a little file, so I always have that pattern instead of trying to guess and remember. All right. And this one, let me bring out the sample again. On this one, I used colored cardstock, and then I layered this piece with white and then did some designer series paper. Same here, same here. The only thing I would recommend is that you definitely go ahead, whether it's designer series paper or whatever color, even white, and then you put your paper, to go ahead and lift that up so that creates that little easel for you. Okay? Isn't that sweet? And that's all that you're doing when you place that on there. Okay? Just like that. When you do your stamping, keep in mind this is on the diagonal, obviously, but sometimes you forget because we're used to stamping this way. So there you go. What do you guys think about that? Fast and easy, cute, and I just love these stamps. This is such a fun set. I kind of feel like it's so versatile that everybody would want to have that in their collection. So I hope that you enjoyed the samples today, and I hope to see you make an easel card. If you make these cards, please post them. Post them right here. You can do that. Just add a picture to this, and then we can share them, and everybody can come back and see what you've made. So I love it. I love it. So until next Thursday at 10, and next Thursday is June 30th. Can you believe it? The end of the month is here. And then the following week will be Christmas in July. So make sure you let me know If you did not get your catalog, and like I said, Monday, I should be able to get those in the mail. This one, okay? If you did not get that, or even our big catalog, our big idea and catalog, if you haven't gotten one from your demonstrator or from me, let me know. I'll be more than happy to send you one. So until next Thursday, everybody, happy stamping, be creative, be kind to yourself and everybody around you. Bye-bye.